Welcome students, welcome again. Welcome to the next video lecture, and we are discussing about the non-verbal communication. And previously we studied in previous videos we have studied this such kind of images which denotes the mood. For example, if you sit in this way, it denotes that you are ready, you are very positive, you are able to do any task which is assigned by your seniors or higher authorities, and it also creates a good impression. Means you are goal, it denotes that you are a goal oriented person. Then in this slide you will observe that if you have hand on your chest, it denotes that you are honest, you are loyal, and you are devoted to particular task. Again, this kind of a body movement denotes that a doubt or hesitant, you are hesitant to do the task. Okay. Then curiosity is expressed if you touch the nose. Means you are very curious to know, you are very curious to know the things, and on the basis of that thing you will complete that task. Then here see, if you are bored or someone is bored, that kind of body movement is done or expression is done. See, I am bored. See here, this is the activity that person has done. You will observe these images, it denotes boredom or tired. Then confident, proud, and egotistic, it is not a sleeping but it is a stepping. Confident, proud, and egotistic. So here low stippling, this is called here low stippling, means joining fingers tips. Okay, it denotes low stippling. Okay, and here see, it is a confident, proud, and egotistic. Both the image denotes the confident, proud, and egotistic, but as compared to this image it denotes low stippling. Then expectations and unspoken demands. When you rub your hand, it denotes that we have more expectations, we have some unspoken demand. You are not expressing that demand but unspoken demand. Okay, that times hand are rubbed. Then evaluating and judging means you make movement of your fingers in your beard. Okay, chin stroking evaluation, it denotes the evaluating or judging. Okay, actually not you move your fingers in your beard but put your fingers on chin, and it means that you are evaluating someone else, you are judging someone else. The negative emotional reaction or scrutinizing people, this is the gesture you may observe, gesture with glasses, it denotes that you are scrutinizing people, and it also denotes the negative emotional reaction. Then sincere, open to suggestion and acceptance of authority, okay, is denoted in this first image. Sincerity and frustration and helplessness is denoted in this second image. Okay, so both the images have open hands, open hand gestures, but every every image denotes the sincerity. Open to means first image of that person denotes sincere, open to suggestion, acceptance of authority, and second image denotes frustration and helplessness. The non-cooperative, hostile, and unconcerned, this is the image is denoted here, getting a leg up. Okay, sometimes you observe, sometimes you feel relaxed while sitting in this way, but it denotes that non-cooperative nature, you have hostile nature, and you are unconcerned. Then defensive or something seeking comfort, that is denoted by arm gripping. Okay, this happens with the male person, and this happens with the teenage girls. Okay, crossed arms, which is denote which what kind of mood is denoted here? Defensive, something seeking comfort. Defensive, seeking something more comfort. then then among colleagues, defensive and defensive nature or mood, how it is denoted in this way: crossed arm, defensive. Again, in elders, it is for the right to be heard. Okay, means someone will do such kind of open hand movement or arm movement, it denotes defensive. and elderly person do that. Okay. So physical characteristics, not all non-verbal communication comes through movement and motion. Some are static self-presentation characteristics. Okay. Some are static self-presentation characteristics which include body, height, weight, hair, skin color, and breath odor. Okay. So these are the physical characteristics which denotes the non-verbal communication also. So see, artifacts is nothing but it is object that we have. For example, your ID cards. Okay. And that lace of that ID card is also example of artifacts because it denotes something. When objects interact with persons to send non-verbal cues. Okay, suppose you are crossing the entry gate and you are only showing the ID card without speaking, then the checker or that watchman will observe that yes, this is the authorized person of this company, and he will let you go inside. So clothes, lipsticks, false eyelashes, wigs, perfumes, these all are artifacts. Okay, that's why suppose you have used sober perfume, then someone will be fresh by getting that perfume, the smell of that perfume. Then environmental factors. It is also associated with the communication event that impinge upon the human relationship, but not part of it. For example, furniture, architectural style, interior decorating, lighting conditions, colors, temperature. Now see, lighting conditions or interior decoration you will observe in 5-star hotels or three-star hotels, but it is not in every house. Okay. And in that it is, and these three star hotels or 5-star hotels have created that kind of environment to impress someone. Okay, to impress the customers, but it is not usually done in every house. Okay. So that's why it is called environmental factor, which creates the human relationship with the customers only. So as far as this example is concerned regarding that 5-star or 3-star hotels, then first impression, we always say that first impression is the last impression. But when that first impression starts, so it is cleared here. We know the importance of first impression, but first impressions happen every time. It happen every time when we initiate the communication. So there are two types of first impressions: positive and negative. Positive first impression make communications much easier and more comfortable, and negative first impression can cut off a relation before it gets started. Okay. Then it includes dress and grooming, voice, handshake, eye contact, and body language. So language of gestures, see here, body language and non-verbal communication are transmitted through the eyes, face, hands, arms, legs, and posture, that is sitting and walking. Then each individual isolated gesture is like a word in sentence, and it is difficult and isolated, dangerous to interpret in and of itself. So therefore, consider the gestures in the light of everything else that is going on around you. So your body language speak more, your gestures speak more. Okay, so non-verbal communication is very much important as far as our professional career is concerned. So eyes, another part or body part is that eyes. So we always say that eyes are the windows of the soul. Okay. So many information or so many feelings or moods are denoted through the eyes. That's why it is said that eyes are the windows of the soul, and it is excellent indicators of feelings. So honest person has a tendency to look you straight in the eye when speaking, and at least listeners accept it like that. Okay. So people avoid eye contact with other person when an uncomfortable question is asked. Okay. And try to reduce tension and build trust rather than increase tension. Hmm? The raising of one eyebrows. See here, before in previous lecture I have uh, given the reference of what happens if two eyebrows are raised and one eyebrow is raised. So this, see here, the raising of one eyebrow shows disbelief, and two eyebrows, raising of two eyebrows shows surprise. Okay, disbelief and surprise. Then people are classified as right lookers and left lookers. So right lookers are more influenced by logic and precision, and left lookers are found to be more emotional, subjective, and suggestible. Then face is one of the most reliable indicator of person's attitude, emotions, and feelings. Just we observe the importance of eye movement, and right now in this current slide we are studying the importance of face. So by analyzing facial expressions, interpersonal attitudes can be discerned and feedback obtained. So some people try to hide their true emotions, and common facial gestures are frowns, which indicates unhappiness, anger; smiles, which always denotes happiness; sneers, which denotes dislike or disgust; clenched jaws denotes tension, anger; and pouting lips denotes sadness. So again, like eyes, face, let us see the information about the hands, how it helps to denote the information or circulate the messages or information. So tightly clenched hands usually indicate the person is experiencing unique pressure. Okay, he is creating the unique pressure. Then it may be difficult to relate to this person because of his tension and disagreement. Hmm? Then superiority and authority are usually indicated when you are standing and joining your hands behind your back. Okay, superiority and authority are usually indicated when you are standing and joining your hands behind your back. Hmm? We in our local language also say that you are not a boss, you are walking like a boss. Hmm? In our local language we give such kind of expressions. You might be understanding what I am saying. Hmm? So cupping one or both hands over the mouth, imagine you may do these activities, especially when talking, may well indicate that the person is trying to hide something. Okay, then putting your hand to your cheek or stroking your chin generally portrays thinking, interest, or consideration. Then fingers bent across the chin or below the mouth most often shows critical evaluation. Okay, you may do these activities as a part of entertainment. Then rubbing gently behind or beside the ear with the index finger, or rubbing the eye usually means the other person is uncertain about what you are saying. And leaning back with the both hands, this image we have observed, leaning with both hands supporting the head usually indicates a feeling of confidence or superiority. Then arms and legs, just we observe the importance or meanings denoted expressed by eyes, face, then hands, and right now arms and legs. Sorry. So crossed arms tend to signal defensiveness. They seemingly act as a protective guard against an anticipated attack of a fixed position, which the other person would rather not move. Then, conversely, arms open and extended toward you generally indicate openness and acceptance. Open arms, okay, openness and acceptance. Then, crossed legs tend to seem disagreement. People who tightly cross their legs seem to be saying that they are disagree with what you are saying or doing. Hmm? If the people have tightly crossed legs and tightly crossed arms, their inner attitude is usually one of extreme negative towards what is going on around them, and it will be difficult to get agreement. Okay, it denotes the extreme negativity. When you are both the legs are crossed and both the arms are crossed. Then posture, sitting and walking. See, sitting with your legs crossed and elevated foot moving in a slight circular motion indicate boredom and impatience. Okay, again, interest and involvement are usually projected by sitting on the edge of the chair and leaning slightly forward. Okay, if you are lean forward, slightly forward, it denotes that you are interested in that point, you are showing your involvement. Then generally people who walk fast and swing their arms freely tend to know what they want and to go after that. And people who walk with their shoulders hunched and hands in their pockets tend to be secretive and critical. We cannot judge what kind of feelings or thoughts going on in their mind. So they don't seem to like much of what is going on around them. Okay, those people don't like to share their thoughts. It may be secret or any other things. So dejected people usually scuffle along with their hands in pockets, and those are called dejected people. Okay, then heads down and shoulders hunched over. Then people who are preoccupied or thinking usually walk with their heads down, hands clasped behind their backs, and pace very slowly. So these such kind of people doing their activities in the corridor or behind your means your neighbors might be doing these activities. You may observe, or you might be observe, or you might be observing these things. Okay, so uh, these things you will observe in your day-to-day lives. So interpreting gesture clusters. So certain combinations of gestures are specially reliable indicators of your person's true feelings. These combinations are clusters. Okay, so in forthcoming slides we may observe the gesture clusters one by one, or those gesture clusters which are used while interpreting our different emotions. So each gesture is dependent to others. So analysis of a person's body language is based on a series of signals to ensure that the body language clearly and accurately understood. All the individual gestures fit together to project a common unified message. When they do not, this means a incongruity. For example, a nervous laugh means we laugh as as it denotes the happiness, but there is a nervous laugh also. For example, a laugh generally is a signal of a relaxation, but if there are nervous signals in body language, that means the person is trying to escape from an unpleasant situation. So openness, another gesture cluster is openness. See here, several gestures indicate openness and sincerity. Okay, so what are those gesture clusters? That is open hands, unbuttoned collar, leaning slightly forward in the chair, it denotes the openness. Then removing coat or jacket denotes openness. Uncrossing arms and legs, moving closer, denotes openness. And when people are proud of what they have done, they usually show their hands quite openly. And when they are not, often put their hands into their pockets or hide back. Okay, when people show signals of openness, that means they are generally beginning very comfortable in your presence, which is good. So another gesture clusters is defensiveness and nervousness. So defensiveness is denoted when people who are defensive usually have a rigid body, arms and legs tightly crossed, eyes glancing sideways or darting occasionally, then minimal eye contact, lips pursed, then fist clenched and downcast head. Common again nervousness is denoted or indirectly denoted whistling, jiggling, pocket change, then fidgeting, twitching lips, or face clearing one's throats. Means when we say when this such kind of expressions we shows, that is called a nervousness. Then chain smoking. Okay, covering the mouth with hand and tapping fingers, it denotes the nervousness. Then evaluation gestures say that the other person is being thoughtful or is considering what you are saying, sometimes in a friendly way, sometimes in a unfriendly way. Means it is evaluation is done in friendly way or unfriendly way. Then typical evaluation gestures include tilted head, hand to cheek, leaning forward, and chin stroking. Sometimes evaluation gestures take on a critical aspect. Those are expressed here. The body is more drawn back. The hand is to the face, but the chin is in the palm of the hand with one finger going up the cheek and other fingers positioned below the mouth. So this is generally an unfavorable gesture. To gain time for evaluating the situation, people use cigarette or pipe smoking habits, removing eyeglasses. And a final negative evaluation gesture is dropping his eyeglasses to the lower free bridge of noise and peering over them. And this gesture usually causes a negative emotional overactions in other people. Then suspicion, secrecy, rejection, and doubt. These emotions are denoted or expressed, and what kind of body movement is done or expressions are given here. These negative emotions are communicated typically by sideways glances. Okay, we observe the corner of your eyes sometimes. Then minimal or no eye contact. Then shifting the body away from the speaker and touching or rubbing the nose. When a person do not want to look at you, it could mean he is being secretive, has private feelings in opposition to what you are saying or hiding something. And a sideway glances means suspicion or doubt. And shifting your body from someone means you wish to end the conversation, meeting, etc. Means you leave that meeting without taking the permission, or you unknowingly separate yourself from that group. It denotes that you are not interested, you are suspicion, you are rejecting that meeting, something like that. So touching nose may indicate doubt or concealment. Then emotion of readiness, okay, or expression of readiness is related to the goal oriented high achiever with a concern for getting things done. Okay, this is we have this regarding these expressions we observed the image previously. So it communicates dedication to a goal and is usually communicated by sitting forward at the edge of a chair. Okay, we somehow sit forward at the edge of a chair, and it denotes that you are ready. So this may negatively give the awareness of being overly anxious also. Okay, and same activity, if you do that, it also denotes you are negatively giving the appearance of being overly anxiousness. Okay, so boredom and impatience. So these unproductive feelings are usually conveyed by the drumming of fingers, cupping the head in the palm of the hand. It denotes boredom and impatience. Okay, then foot swinging and brushing or picking a lint, looking at your watch or the exit. This denotes boredom or impatience. Again, enthusiasm. This is an emotion that you love to see in other person and then in you. Is conveyed by a small upper or inward smile, hands open, arms extended outward, eyes wide and alert, a lively and bouncy walk, a lively and well modulated voice. Okay, this happens when a small child, baby child, is very happy, especially such expressions you observe. So, words and phrases that usually annoy and hurt people. There are some words or phrases in our day to day communication that we use, and it is and it denotes those words or phrases. Such here it is given. It denotes annoyance or hurting to someone else. So you should have known better such expressions you use or words or phrases you use. You should have known better. I can see no point in. Next expression is you must realize that. Next expression is I find it difficult to believe. Next expression, phrase, don't be stupid. You can't do that. That's irrelevant. So, such kind of phrases or words or expressions used in your communication, and if you do that, it will create annoy or you will hurt people indirectly. So, you should avoid absolutes unless you mean them. Okay, you should clear the idea there. Then avoid putting the other person down. Hmm? You should not give inferior status to other person. Then avoid superior sounding judgments. Okay, means don't be stupid, you can't do that. Such expressions you should avoid. Clear the idea and then go on. Then saying what we really mean. Hmm? So see here, the price we pay for not saying what we mean or saying something we didn't mean can cause guilt, anger, loss of self-esteem. Okay, so the price we pay for not saying means what we want to say but we are not saying. Then how that the next person, further person will get the meaning, and you are saying something which is which have doesn't any meaning, then it will create guilt, anger, and loss of self-esteem. Again, accusation, screaming, and aggressiveness can't prove your point. Means you are screaming, you are aggressively speaking, then you can't prove your point. Then informing without hurting. So see here, we as far studied the non-verbal communication, we are silently doing that things. Okay, so informing without hurting, how we can inform the things that you want to inform without hurting. So see, first try listening to others. Okay, then acknowledge others views and feelings. First of all, try to listening others, acknowledge others feelings, their feelings and views. Then inform without hurting. Avoid the word never and the use of you message, you messages. For example, you are always late, you have a never ever present on time. Okay, so such kind of never, you should avoid that. Okay, so we studied so many things in this two videos about the non-verbal communication. So I hope that maximum information might be given to you and you have got that, and you will utilize, you will use this non-verbal communication in your day-to-day life, in your professional career, and as a student you will enhance your soft skills. So till the next lecture, let us stop here and have a nice day. Thank you.